Ramon, you hinted earlier about new chart types maybe coming, and without being specific, I'm excited. Cameron, maybe a question for you. What's your favorite chart type? Are you a pie chart guy?
Donut chart.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I only have a favorite because it's one of my dear friend's least favorite, and that's the pie chart. And he knows who he is because he's listening to this podcast, I promise. I only like the pie chart just because it makes him angry. Welcome to another episode of the Vega Vodcast. Lucky enough to be joined by a couple cool kids from the cloud ecosystem. And in this episode, we were joined by our friends from AWS. And if you like the episode, we ask that you like and subscribe, as the kids say. And to do some quick intros before we get into all the meat of it, joining us from AWS is the Principal Solutions Architect, Ramon Lopez. Ramon, hello.
Afternoon. Good. Nice to be here. Thank you, Cameron.
We're so grateful you're with us. And Joe Conlin, the Solution Architect Extraordinaire, Director here at Vega Cloud. Hello, Joe.
Cameron. Hello, Ramon. Excited for today. Long time coming.
I agree. It's a good, as I was thinking about getting the chance to chat with you two smart people and just sit back and listen, I was thinking, this is a long time coming. Vega Cloud has been around for years and been successful in our space for years, and all because of our relationship with AWS. I mean, truly, if you think about our platform is built on the backbone, like so many other platforms, but ours is specifically built on AWS. And we've been fortunate to leverage the power of AWS to help so many hundreds of customers save millions of dollars. And we're going to get into the meat of all that today. So
it's a triple whammy, It's a triple whammy. You use our tool, the customers use the tool. That's beautiful.
It is. It's an orchestra for sure. And a lot of that's built on, I was going to say QuickSight, but I'm going to say QuickSuite. Right? I'm learning. I think the problem for me is we've been embedded with QuickSuite for so long, but saying QuickSight for much longer. That's going to take me a minute to get through that. There's so much going on there. Ramon, I'd love to start with you to give us, for people that maybe don't know about the recent transformation, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Just give us a sense of what's going on with QuickSuite.
Yeah. So as in my role as a specialist solutions architect, I represent what used to be the QuickSight product, which is now QuickSuite. QuickSight for 8 years has been a top-notch. It's grown into a top-notch business intelligence solution. Talking about connecting to your structured data, talking about building dashboards, building reports, embedding those reports, and building applications with those technologies. We've been doing that really well. A little transformative upgrade over the last few weeks into the QuickSuite platform, where we have all of those great BI capabilities that let you work with your structured data, build analysis, get insights, build reports, and add on to that agentic capabilities, add on to that the ability to index all of your unstructured assets, all your PDFs, videos, and get the ability of doing workflows, automations, and research investigations, all these really cool technologies that we'll get into a little bit today in one package for business users. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're super excited. I was talking to Joe about it earlier, and we've been doing our homework just to get caught up on all the new things that have come with QuickSuite. And it's exciting. It's exciting and overwhelming at all the opportunities we have to help customers in new ways.
Yeah.
Joe, you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. In fact, I've been immersed in QuickSight, the BI layer, primarily for the better part of the last 3 years, and building different views. But, the challenge, for me, and I think anybody who's trying to make sense of their data is, what does this mean? How do we get better insights? And a lot of times it comes to bringing other context in, enriching that data, and then just processing through a whole lot of it. So QuickSuite was a surprise for me, but it makes a lot of sense because I think that's building on that foundation that, at least speaking from my experience, you want to connect users where they are to help make better sense of that data. And I think this is one of those ways you can really accelerate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and thankful to be connected with Ramon over the last many months just to get a sense for where things are going and understand the true power of what we have at our disposal here at Vega. And in doing so, learned that Ramon's very, very versed. Well, I'll say versed in our world of FinOps and understanding cloud cost management problems. Ramon, I'd love to hear from you. You know, outside of the world of Vega, how have you engaged with teams leveraging
Yeah.
QuickSuite for FinOps
Yeah.
problems?
Optimization, cost management, cost allocation is kind of near and dear to my heart. I do have an accounting undergrad and MBA. So a lot of my background was in accounting and cost allocation. And getting into AWS, it was definitely one of the things that I could get my hands into early on in terms of understanding the core reports, getting into really what those reports mean, how things are allocated, and helping customers with that. Along the way, I've worked really closely with the teams that have built the I'm sure some of the audience is familiar with the CID, the Cloud Intelligence. Not sure what the D stands for, but they built the Kudos dashboards and they built all these other dashboards that sit on top of AWS infrastructure. It supports multi-cloud analysis as well, and it's simple, like with simple reports and optimizations, all kind of native, hard coded into the platform and easy to deploy. So they
Right,
serve like a
right.
great foundation out there.
Yeah, and I want to get into that a little bit too, just understanding like how we work in this world together. But it is interesting to know that there's opportunities out there that we're both solving for. And I think from Joe's perspective, I'd love to hear just how, what, based on what Ramon said, but also just in general in our experience, like how have we been leveraging the Quick Suite offering up till now? So it's been more Quick Site offering up until now, but how have we been leveraging it to help customers from a FinOps lens?
Yeah, I'll bring it back to even what I was just mentioning before. It's sort of meeting users where they are. In FinOps, it's a blend of different personas. So finance, engineering, business, there's a whole blend of them. And different folks look at things differently. Engineers may want to deep dive data points, do analysis, maybe build up visualizations that are very elaborate. Other business users may have a portion of their day that they want to dedicate to seeing KPIs, like things that are important, and then move on to what they want to focus on. And so with that, QuickSight has been super handy for sort of addressing different folks where they are. So building a dashboard that maybe is very detailed for those that want to get into the weeds, keeping them simple. So it's not just presenting the data back, but it's being flexible enough where you can present it in a way that helps a human. I always like to talk about the human, helps us like process that information in a way that is meaningful to us, even if we're coming from a different background. And the one thing that for me has been very handy, and I don't think I fully appreciated initially, was the SPICE engine. So actually, I think that's redundant. It's the serial, no, it's parallel. Basically, it's the
Super.
in-memory processing that lets you do these advanced calculations on the fly, very performant. And if you're a little bit of a hacker like me, and sometimes you just want to try something really quick, it's a handy layer where you can build calculated fields on top of your data to solve a specific problem or maybe visualize things another way. And the fact it's called Spice means now it's quick, sweet, and spicy. No, 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 no,
Wow.
no, no. I don't think that applies. I don't think anybody thought of
I
that.
thought for
But
sure you were going like, tell me what you want, what you really, really want on the spice. But no, you went a totally different
I
direction
will
on
be a
that.
spice
For the
boy. But
kids out there, it's more about Star Wars or maybe Dune, but anyways,
that's true.
Okay.
those are the modern
Yeah.
cool references to the spice.
That's okay.
At least
I
if you
like
say
That's
that.
true. That's true.
All right. All right. Enough about pop culture. Joe, but just for 1 second, you mentioned how we've helped customers. Can you cite or suite some examples of where we've helped customers? And when you think about us as Vega helping customers from a FinOps lens, can you cite some examples of where we've seen real impact, like data-driven results?
So one that comes to mind is a recent new customer of ours that came on board, an MSP. And part of bridging these workflows is this MSP provides invoices to their customers, inserting their products, different ways that they represent it to clients. sort of that adoption of existing customer base, now moving on to a platform that's helping to address a broader cloud spend, different complex rules and how they want to show that back. On the Vega side, using QuickSight, our dashboard authoring capability powered by QuickSight, that BI layer allows us to meet a specific use case that for the consumers of these reports, it will look very similar, but it's now saving tens of hours every week producing invoices and validating numbers because the process is doing that behind the scenes. The data behind the scenes is providing that. Then also that visualization layer is presenting it back in a way that's immediately useful, not only for creating a static report that can be shared, but even on demand at any given point in time as an interactive dashboard. So that's one practical example, this MSP invoicing use case, but I would confidently say it's a universal for a customer who's in looking for FinOps. Maybe they're coming from a homegrown solution or using Power BI or something else like that and moving to a new solution. It's bridging that workflow. I talk about that all the time. Teams get results when workflows match what they're doing. And then from there, you can start to iterate and build and create new things on top. That's when we can get these results really quickly. And QuickSuite helps to enable that. Super flexible, visualize, you can do calculations on the fly. It's super powerful and part of every adoption, new customer adoption on the Vega platform. It's leveraging QuickSight.
That's awesome. Ramon, I'm curious, it's a kind of two-part question that are probably a little different. One, these outcomes we've seen with customers. You've been working with the folks at AWS who are doing similar things with the Kudos dashboards, et cetera. So, any outcomes that you have seen specifically that you care to share, and then also kind of behind the curtain, as you know the product better than we do. Any intelligence you have on like why the power of the platform works the way that it does and enables us to marinate the data and essentially curate it in a more powerful way than they can on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what we've seen customers that implement QuickSight dashboards that go beyond Kudos and customize the dashboards themselves to match combine it with their operational data, they get to a whole nother level of context and visibility into whatever they choose to throw at it. So I've seen a lot of success with taking like really operational HR data, combining with the FinOps data and being able to get end-to-end reporting that is going to really tailor-made, built by the teams from the ground up, customized to their needs. Behind the scenes, the ease of connectivity, like Joe mentioned, the SPICE, which is continuously expanding in its performance and its ability. We just recently launched some new data prep capabilities. I don't know if you've all seen them, but we're able to do focused on business users, additional prep things like unions, pivots, aggregations, all right through the UI, drag and drop, and soon to be with kind of agentic assisted to create all of these. So that's powering, and the infrastructure behind Spice is also continuing to evolve. Some really exciting stuff coming up in terms of capacity, in terms of ease of integration, in terms of supporting more real-time data sources. And that's only on the back end side. On the front end side, our visualization side is continuing to push forward. And again, we're only focused on QuickSight. We haven't even touched the little QuickSuite side, but on the QuickSight side, new chart types, faster charts, better embedding, etc. It's all going to continue to evolve, and all of our customers that are also embedding QuickSight, like Vega, is going to be able to leverage and take advantage of those new improvements, of the new capabilities. So everything trickles down to your customers as well, which is a beautiful thing. And then kind of the C part of my question is what happens when you throw QuickSuite into the equation? How does QuickSuite transform FinOps within the AWS world? And it's pretty fascinating because customers are creating custom agents, running research investigations, doing cost and trend analysis, and going deeper on their data by combining, all the curse stuff, that data with all their unstructured data, documentation, reports, quarterly reports, annual reports that give additional insight to the agents, to the flows, to the automations that are running, generating insight and generating optimizations or finding anomalies or reporting for the teams. It's a kind of a new age way, I think, for managing FinOps.
It's exciting. There's so much opportunity. It's just it's a little bit daunting, but we're excited to take advantage of all the things that are coming our way thanks to you. You mentioned something kind of off the cuff here. You mentioned something about the processing time, and I'm not the smart guy in the room. Everyone knows that by now. But it is interesting. As someone who talks to customers all day, every day, I do hear regularly like oohs and ahs when we show off the ability to kind of reprocess data in real time. Joe, keep me honest here about not stepping out of bounds on my dumbness, but because they're coming from other platforms that require like different periods of reprocessing and it takes much longer. It's really a powerful tool. It's really a selling agent for Vega, honestly. That our
But isn't
ability to
some of that
process
magic
data.
behind the scenes of some of what, so you guys are also doing got some secret sauce going on in terms of probably how you prepare the data and provide some innovative ways on lenses on the FinOps data, right?
You're both right. You're both right. Yeah. So actually, it's a good point, and it's all me. No, it's not me at all. But I'm a beneficiary of the data curation that a lot of the hardworking Vega engineers, shout out if you're listening. Drop a comment. That data is on the Vega side. It is curated. There's effort put into making sure that it can be consumed in a performant way. Yes, but on top of that, there is also this added benefit. Using Spice, this is not unique to FinOps, but it is a definite FinOps problem. There's a lot of data, especially if you're going across multiple cloud environments, just multiple data sources. It's a lot of data to process to get the bread and butter insights. And Spice does a very good job at that. And so even to my earlier comments about some of these on the fly doing calculated fields, that's a flexibility that is really an asset when you're trying to build an analysis, especially in a FinOps context where maybe a new product has been released. Maybe there's been some service interruptions and you want to do an analysis on what that effect was. It's not something you have an out of the box dashboard for, but using these tools, it helps you to surface them much quicker than it would take with others where maybe you're used to reprocessing times on the order of days. Now you can do that in seconds, literally. So I'm a big fan as a user of the platform. It saves my bacon.
QuickSight was born on the cloud, was born to scale, is born to handle data, and we continue to expand. Like I said, I can't get into much details in the roadmap here, but it's going to be faster ingesting. It's going to handle more data. It's going to be able to crunch data faster. All those good things that we all dream of, and also aligning kind of with your iceberg data strategies out there that are quite popular,
Yeah.
especially in AWS with S3 tables.
Well, it's good because these cloud bills aren't getting any smaller. So we need to be able to process more and more data. And that's a good thing for all of us. That means we're innovating faster. That means, we're driving business outcomes for our customers, and our customers are ultimately driving business outcomes. So that's exciting. So I want to step into a different topic, but we've been dancing around it a little bit. So we're just going to go right in the middle of the dance floor, which is this working together, AWS and Vega together. We ultimately are cooperating in a massive way to help customers. But we also have the ability, like there's a uniqueness to where AWS native tools are very useful for customers. And there's a uniqueness to when a platform like ours is helpful for customers. And we've been on with customers before, and just based on their current situation, we've said, leveraging AWS's native tools is likely best for you right now because I truly believe it. And then there's times where that isn't true. I'd love to get into that a little bit with the both of you. Ramon, maybe start with you. Like, how do you see the power of the partnership and the kind of that better together story, and when it makes sense to leverage a platform versus cloud
Yeah.
native?
Yeah, I think many times it's the classic build versus buy scenario. And AWS lets me talk about this all the time because like a lot of our services are builder centric. They require liking to build or having a team that can build for you. Obviously, all the bars are going down is helping us build faster, but you still need to have an architecture and a product mind in place to define what you need out of the AWS services that are going to get you maybe 80% of the way. Um, and then the other flip side of what we do, which is beautiful, is empowering organizations like you all. So then here comes the other flip. The flip side is embedded capabilities, being able to take what we do well and letting organizations take advantage of it. And I think that's where Vega comes in and taking it to the next level for your customers.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's resonates with me. Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's build versus buy. It's a topic all of its own. I always come back to data, data quality, trusting that data, uh, particularly when AI is brought into the conversation. Your quality of data is really going to accelerate what your outputs are in that lens. And so from Vega's standpoint, we spend a lot of time, and I touched on some of that data curation that our team does. That if you're building a dashboard, it makes it easier to innovate on top of there. But also just kind of taking some of that heavy lifting off as your complexity scales, as you're bringing in different cloud environments, as AI activities go through and you need to evolve your already complex environments, it can ramp up very quickly. And, having that trustworthy data set that you're building on top of that gives you the breadth and the depth that's needed to do this insight on top. I think that's really where the promise of QuickSuite really shines, or at least for me, I see the opportunity because um, it's what are the insights? What can we do with this data? What's the so what behind this FinOps data? The faster you can get there without having to circle back and validate your data is right, that those are built on, you can move faster and you can get deeper in. So I'm really excited by a lot of these advancements into QuickSuite on top, but I do think it's still important that the teams come together. You need a good data set that specialist experts in cloud cost data are doing the curation, whatever form or function it is. Because I could tell you, it doesn't do it itself. There's a lot of effort and expertise that goes into peeling back Curves and all the other cloud providers' data sets that really is important.
The secret sauce right there.
Secret sauce, secret spice, maybe even some might say.
That's
No, yeah. Oh, we can cut that. We can cut that. Joe, you alluded to what we've kind of been chatting about the whole time, which is kind of what's coming and the pace of innovation um, at AWS, and it's been incredible the whole time I've been in the ecosystem. It specifically feels like it's ramping up as it relates to this wonderful product suite that we get the opportunity to work with. Yes, we got that one. And we have Ramon with us, so we would be remiss if we didn't get an opportunity to hear from Ramon what he's excited about. Specifically, in this can be more general, but specifically around how we leverage FinOps and I'll say it, AI and the power of QuickSuite in solving some of the most common and uncommon challenges, and what's coming down the pipe. We would love to what you can share, of course,
No,
and
absolutely. No, there's
what you're excited about.
the QuickSuite product that launched a few weeks back here in October. It added the capability of creating custom agents and creating knowledge bases. So it's allowing us FinOps experts or our customers to build the knowledge to create those agents to enable them not just to get answers to their insights, but also enable workflows and automations from within. So QuickSuite has integrations with tools like Outlook, Slack, Asana, Jira, Confluence, ServiceNow. It also has support for MCP and integrating just with a REST API or Open API, Spec API. So you can tap into any interface and gain tools that enable workflows, talking about ticket creation workflows for like more rigid validation anomalies, etc. We're talking simpler productivity workflows, i.e., I go in and I want to check these 5 things, look for anomalies, and send the Slack message and post it in the team channel. And you can set up these types of automations on the fly with natural language text and integrate it with your system, with your enterprise data. We go from kind of reactive to really proactive management of not just costs, but optimizing costs and then allocating it to the organization. Um, and then it's just really fun in terms of the research investigation.
Mm.
Um, being able to do research investigations on your own data, on your enterprise data. So whether it's generating monthly reports or quarterly reports, weekly reports, and having an agent interrogate all of your enterprise knowledge systems and look for anomalies and check the web and consolidate it all and give you a recap, saving countless hours of work from just being able to do more, being able to be more effective and brainstorm more, try new ideas and pump out more output. It's fun. It's exciting. Every conversation with a customer is untapping new ideas and new ways to do things. And I never, from BI to kind of productivity and analysis and productivity, it's a big jump, but I think it's a natural evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, any comments to that?
I'm excited. I, for one, welcome the new AI bots, and I think it validates all the documentation that do you still need to make it? Like, yes, and you will benefit from it in the future. But like back to the theme here. We always talk about AI for FinOps and FinOps for AI, and this is that AI for FinOps that it's really getting those insights out faster, bringing together experience and knowledge, centralizing it. I think that's the sweet spot. One of the challenges that I think is universal, folks that we talk to, tends to be that behavior change, like doing things with data. And I think the better you can address different personas, again, like folks that would be concerned with managing costs, ensuring they're getting value out of their cloud investments, they come from different lenses. They want to see things different ways. And the better you can address that, make it meaningful to them, things will just move faster and the outcomes will be a lot more spicy.
I definitely
Yes.
don't believe that dashboards will be replaced by chatbots. I think, the whole dashboards is dead is a lovely storyline that people love to get likes on. But I don't think they're going to die. I think that the agents are going to make the dashboards even more powerful because you still need a lot of the magic that lives inside of those dashboards. That it's in the data prep, but it's also in how you expose that cleaned up data to your customers and to those different personas. And you guys do that well.
Ramon, you
Yeah,
hinted
and I think,
earlier. Uh, you hinted
sorry, Joe, go
earlier
ahead.
about new chart types may be coming, and without being specific, I'm excited. Cameron, maybe a question for you. What's your favorite chart type? Are you a pie chart guy?
Donut chart.
Yeah.
If
Do you have a favorite?
I only have a favorite because it's one of my dear friend's least favorite, and that's the pie chart. And he knows who he is because he's listening to this podcast. I promise. I only like the pie chart just because it makes him angry. But
Yeah,
hey,
it's kind
there's a couple things that Ramon said that I wanted to touch back on, and one is workflow, workflow. The biggest challenge in FinOps has been forever getting to action. So insights are hard too, but just insights don't take action on them on their own. So everyone's been racing to automation, and as have we, and we've helped customers with cool automation. But automation doesn't do everything. And I think really what the answer I've been preaching, maybe by myself, but that workflow is really the answer because you need something to kick off the action, to incentivize the action, to drive the behavior. And for me, that's more workflow than it is clicking a button and having it go do something, write something into your cloud environment. Um, is that, Ramon? Is that how you envision workflows being used from a FinOps
Yeah.
lens?
Ultimately, a workflow being a series of steps that a person has to take to it. Maybe you know your goal when you start, maybe you don't, but you take those steps forward to try to get to the answer and finish the goal. The QuickSuite, we have our flows, and one of the neat ways about flows is, in the same sense that a workflow is just a series of steps or a series of questions, you can take a conversation in your chat history where you went through a process, a challenge, and interrogated potentially different data sources, different systems, different MCP servers, as in your mind you're going through trying to resolve it. And you can ask the agent, based on that conversation, create a flow. With that, it analyzes the thread and analyzes all the thought processes that you went through and kind of systemizes them. So now you're able to kind of trigger that workflow, and eventually you'll be able to do it from Slack, you'll be able to do it from other tools. Trigger that workflow. Maybe that workflow takes an input. Maybe the input is, hey, I want to look at the last few days. And then it goes and analyzes 10 different systems for X, Y, and Z across the last few days and summarizes it. Maybe it looks up news, has a UI agent that can maybe open up websites and click through and do things. Takes a little longer, but it actually does some interesting stuff. Workflows, they're changing. And one of the fascinating things, obviously you can imagine we are eating our own dog food.
Drinking your own
We
champagne.
There we go. That's much classier. We have hundreds of thousands of employees on QuickSuite leveraging the tool, and these flows are like, it's a thing of viral that we have, like flow all-stars that have become popular because
That's cool.
when you go to the flows, you see how many users are using the flow. You see how many times the flow has been run. So it's a popularity contest out there to see
What
who
a
makes
flex.
the best flow.
Wow.
What are the most popular ones? They're like daily task analyzer and email reviewer, where it goes through and it checks your Outlook, checks your Slack, your Jira, your Asana, pulls out any type of to-dos and priorities and gives you a nice little summary. That seems to be the most popular, but I'm getting deeper into analyzing data from Salesforce, doing deep investigations by industry, by customer, focusing on specific customers and finding trends within Salesforce, within the different systems. And it's just the analysis, a deep dive analysis that users are able to do in a much quicker time. It's fascinating.
Wow. I want to plug that in. I want to use it. It
Sure.
just sounded like an immediate productivity boost for me.
You saw how it helped me prepare for this session.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. 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 So the other topic, I'm curious your insights on this, Joe, was what I heard was basically we're lowering the bar for users to get insights in a good way. Meaning it's easier to get access to the things you want because you no longer have to be an expert in QuickSight or in the data. You just need to know what you were looking for. Joe, curious what your thoughts are on that advancement and how you see FinOps practitioners using that in the future.
Yeah. You say lower the bar, maybe in passing, but I think it's really about reducing the friction more than anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and especially like FinOps, I think everyone's used to getting, maybe I'll dare to assume maybe you've gotten the email alert every day. It says, here's your budget, here's how you're tracking. And then you start to get numb to it. We've got a saying, thin noise. It's Cameron's saying. Trying to get a cheap laugh. Folks get numb to that. And then if you need to then click off an email, log into a thing and investigate, like it takes you out of your normal day-to-day flow if that's not your primary task. And this goes back to the persona thing of if you're an engineer, your primary task may be building something. And this is one of the guardrails, like a cost management guardrail to make sure that it's being efficient and architected well for cost, et cetera. So you want to know. But if you need to switch your gears completely and start diving through and connecting dots, the data may all be there. You may have the skill set, but now, you're getting tired. It's lunchtime and you realize you just confirmed you're, beyond your budget. Like now you got to go do something about it. So reducing friction, I think, is the super important part of all of this. It's getting through this massive amount of data, getting you the insights quicker. So you don't have to go and click around and try to connect the dots yourself. And that, I think, is the promise specific to FinOps, is just allowing people to stay on what like the core focus is, how they're bringing value to the business, and then make this part easier, more natural, and, signaling if you need to intervene in any way. So it's reducing friction. Maybe it is lowering the bar too, but it's like reduce that friction.
Yeah.
Focus on reducing that friction. The whole gamification just makes me think that we're helping the world get closer to the movie, the 2006 hit movie.
Yes.
So reducing friction and making us actually smarter and faster. Maybe the best.
I'm imagining the dashboard where it's just the little triangle and we're on target. All right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
cloud
thumbs
feels
up.
good.
Just a
Yeah.
green thumbs up. Maybe it flashes always.
Well, I for one get more and more excited about the power of this partnership and just getting the chance, Ramon, to talk to you about what's happened and what's happening. I think, not only for Vega, but our customers are going to be the beneficiaries of all this wonderful innovation. And so we're grateful for you and your team and all the things that you're doing to drive meaningful outcomes for customers. And we look forward to continuing to be part of that partnership moving forward. So thank you, Ramon, for joining us here today and sharing more about what's happening in the world of QuickSuite. And Joe, as always, thank you for your insights on how we're driving meaningful outcomes for customers. Look forward to the Better Together story going forward. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And thanks everyone for listening, all three of you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Till next time.
All right. Time out.